Greetings from the lab, everyone. Now today, this is a game called Puzzle & Dragons. I kind of wanted to showcase this from the very start. I kind of forgot to include this game in my introduction video along with the games that I've been planning on streaming, but even then, that's because I completely forgot about the puzzle genre, which I actually do play quite a fair bit of. So please expect to see a lot more mobile games and various puzzle games on stream down the line. Yes. So I should probably just finish off some easy dailies first. And right after I get all my free stones, I'll jump straight into doing the challenges and try to team build around them. Because a lot of, oftentimes these challenges tend to be pretty easy for veteran players, so I'm just gonna be entering the dungeons blind without any preparations and see what happens. I should probably talk a bit more directly into the mic. Sorry if that was a little bit loud. So I'll save, I'm pretty, 2 million EXP. I'll save it for later. So there's 4 different things that I wanted to do in today's stream, which is there's 3 challenges that I should do, and there's also a dungeon that I need to farm for an evolution material for some of my monsters. I guess I'll just get started with the Pad Appreciation LS challenge. I'm pretty sure these ones aren't too difficult and they're fixed teams, so they should be available to everyone, even if they make a completely new account. I do want to... I'm kind of streaming these series right now because these dungeons are about to expire and I kind of didn't have time to complete them before. But in the future, I am kind of trying... I'm considering making a new account and showing how new players can progress in today's meta with all the events going on and stuff. Puzzle & Dragons is generally pretty generous with a lot of the... with its premium currencies and the free rolls that they give out during events. So it's very accessible for players that even if they don't want to spend a lot of money. Or if any money at all, actually. Apologies for there not being any sound for this stream because my aux cable kind of broke just before the stream started, I think. It started making popping noises and yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So these challenges are supposed to ramp up in difficulty as you go up in levels, but the previous time these dungeons came around, they weren't that difficult to begin with. So I'm not expecting there to be a huge challenge this time, but the harder parts will come later on in the stream. This is pretty much just going to be free stones. Oh, whoops, I completely forgot. Okay, so for this one, Gadius is a board changer. Water and heal orbs to fire. And then this should be enough. Yeah, and everything else is basically just rows. And this should one-shot no problem. Yep. Please let me know if my voice is too quiet or too loud. I did set up the gain a little bit for this, but I'm kind of speaking away from the microphone. So it is possible that this may be a little bit quiet. On OBS, my mic, my voice, it's getting closer to the red zone. I don't know, that might be a little bit too loud. So yeah, please let me know if there's something that you want changed in regards to audio. Changes dark orbs to light. This should be fine. So I was wondering if there's gonna be a skill that would change jammers away to water, which I guess I should work with both water and light this time. Oh, but now I don't have enough hard orbs. I kind of misplanned that. Whoops. It should still be fine, I think. I'll just have to pray for Skyfalls, I guess. I did get the Skyfall, but it's not the one I wanted, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So after I knocked out these challenges, I kind of want to do a box tour for anyone that's interested. I have been playing this game for around 6 years at this point. A little bit over 6 years. I think I clocked in 2,200 days not too long ago, so... maybe catch a glimpse of what a long-term player's box may look like. So healer and devil types increase with 6 wood orbs up to 4 times. This looks about standard. I'll just make 2 rows and just call it a day. So yeah, one of my friends told me that this dungeon is kind of a joke, and I'm kind of starting to see why. But the rewards that it gives are pretty good, so I'm gonna have to do them anyways. In Puzzle and Dragons, whenever you finish a complete set of dungeons, you always get a free magic stone, which is pretty much the premium currency in this game. And you need it to roll the gacha, so there's no reason not to collect them. I'm pretty sure I can just knock this guy out with 1 turn. Four times attack and reduces damage when 4 plus attacks attributes attack at once. Attack increases with 4 plus linked orbs up to 5 times. The one complaint I have about leader skills in this game is the fact that these descriptions can kind of be vague. Like when it says 4 plus linked wood orbs, I don't know how many I need to hit the maximum cap of 5, but They are kind of space restricted in terms of how much they can fit in a tiny blob of text, but still, I feel like it would be much more helpful for newer players if they were to have included them in one form or another. I forgot this is a wood row edition. Whoops. So in that case, just stick to making rows. Yeah, that definitely hits a lot harder. This time I don't have reds. That could be a problem. But knowing this game, it probably isn't. Well, knowing this dungeon specifically. So I believe I have 2 more turns to kill him because I think when his shield expires, he might hit me really hard. I don't have enough orbs to make a row. That should do it. And I have enough attributes to attack with as well. Oops. Well, my avatar is kind of glitching out. Okay. There is also a co-op mode in this game, which is... It used to be a lot bigger, the co-op scene, but people started running dungeons a lot more solo. But it is still there. There are people that still dedicate their time to grinding co-op dungeons. You can even make private lobbies to play with your friends as well. So it's pretty loaded up. It's pretty feature heavy, is what I should be saying. So 2 times HP and attack for fire, 3 times attack with an L shape of 5 non-fire orbs, and 3 times attack with 6 plus linked fire orbs. I believe this should be enough. I just have to make an L. I got a little bit greedy there. Whoops. This still won't combo properly, I think. No, it will. Okay. So fire does neutral amount of damage to the light element right now, but if his HP crosses over the halfway point, it becomes a water type and my damage becomes halved. So during this turn I want to do as much damage as I can. Dark orbs to heal. I don't want that. I want this. So order of skills matters if I want to maximize the number of fire orbs that I can use. So I want to make 2 rows because rows increases damage dealt. And this should do it. Yep. Okay. So the leader skills are starting to get a little bit more annoying as the levels go up. Now it's a 7x6 board. Removes orb block, changes to leftmost columns, light orbs. Okay. The cooldown on this is in 1 turn. So 7.5 times attack with 6 plus linked light orbs. And 1 damage when light and dark attack at once. But... so there are combo orbs for both light and dark. So I think for this one I should probably try to spend 1 turn gathering combo orbs. And then finish him off with Dorna, adding 3 combos for 1 turn. So if I do this... I believe it's up to like 12 orbs? From 10 to 12 orbs. If I clear that many orbs of light or dark at the same time, then I end up getting combo orbs. So I wanna... do this. Unfortunately, one of my combo orbs got claimed, but that's fine. And now when I do this, I can pop Dorna as well. And this should be very, very easy. Okay. Yeah, we way overcleared the combo requirement. Okay, so another level done. I don't think this dungeon goes up to level 10, which is usually when these challenge dungeons get pretty hairy, but... yeah, the rewards are scaling up pretty hard as well. I think this is probably going to be the last level for this challenge. So what this guy does is he spawned 2 roulette orbs on the field, which basically spin, they change the type of orb that is on the tile in a fixed pattern at a fixed rate. So they are predictable. You can use that to your advantage to get at some orb types that you actually need for your leader skills. Or you can just brute force match around them. So for this one, it's 2 times attack and HP for water attributes, 3 times recovery when skill is used, attack increases with 4 plus linked water orbs up to 15 times. So I'm gonna need to make a ton of water orbs. Light orbs to water and dark orbs to heal. So I'm gonna be doing half damage to this guy because his attribute is wood. So I want to get him to at least half HP before I try to go for a full burst and try to end them. So I don't need to use any skills at this point. I just want to see roughly how much damage this team can do. That's kind of annoying. This team doesn't really hurt. It's a shame that I don't have a skill that changes heal orbs to water. Water orbs to water, light orbs to heal. Light orbs to water, dark orbs to heal. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to waste this turn just to clear the board a little bit. So now that I have a ton more water orbs to work with using this, I think I can take him down in one hit now. Let me try to go for it. Okay, that was actually closer than I thought it'd be. Mortally poisons all enemies, change top rows to I think this is all that I need. Yep, this should be it. And 1, 2. But it's up to 15x, so just in case I wanna do this. I messed up. Strong water counterattack, fire orbs. Fire orbs and poison orbs and jam orbs to water. Water to water is what I need. Considering this is the 8th level, I thought it'd be a little bit harder. Like, granted I did FOB once, but I thought it would... Okay, yeah, that's the end of it. That was way easier than I thought it'd be. Okay. And then the next challenge on the list is Super Re-Ink. I should probably edit this. So, the Pad Appreciation... Later Skill Challenge. This one is complete. And now there's only 2 more challenges left. Super Reincarnated 5 Elements Challenge. I don't think there were any special conditions attached to these dungeons. I can just double check from the news page. Super Reincarnated 5. Yeah. Should be pretty straightforward. So this is one of the teams that I've been using a lot recently. It's a rainbow team. It's 7x6. It has resists for all the major annoyances. It hits hard. It's a pretty busted team for just general dungeon usage. For just going into moderately difficult dungeons blind. It also has a ton of move time. And puzzling with these leaders is not very difficult at all either. Most of the team's damage is focused on making 2-pronged attacks, which is basically making 4 light orbs in a row. But these dungeons that I'm tackling right now are actually fairly dated, and the monsters that I'm using right now are very meta. So they hit way harder than they need to. Like this time I'm probably overshooting the damage by at least a factor of like by at least 10 times. Or even 100 actually. The number scaling in this game is kind of whack. Even though this game does support damage numbers I mean, number systems beyond the integer cap. They set an arbitrary restriction to bind monster damage's max limit to 2.14 billion. And instead they're introducing new monster power-ups and stuff like that to bypass it. And it's annoying because I don't think something like that should be in the game. But I'll have to see where they take it from now on. Because the current in-game dungeons basically require you to hit the integer cap with multiple units at the same time. And while they are introducing a new power-up to basically double the maximum amount of damage that a unit can deal, I don't know if that's the right way to approach this problem. Since while it used to be a previous hardware restriction, because the game was running on 32 bits, the restriction is now gone, so I don't know why they're sticking to it. It's like they're embracing it for some reason. Even though what we just want to see is just huge numbers whenever possible. I bought this background track from a Humble Bundle a while back. And I feel like it's actually kind of catchy as like a brainwashing song. It's kind of growing on me. I feel like I should also do a deep dive into Dova Syndrome to maybe find a better track, more appropriate to the games I play. But there's so many tracks out there that I kind of have to take a good long while to just peruse through the catalog. Oh, I forgot about this. This one's a move time restriction. I kind of messed up, but I kind of feel like I can still make this work. Okay. It'll be janky, but yeah, I can still make this work. What I should have done is pick the easier leader skill to work with, considering that this dungeon restricts orb movement time to 4 seconds. It's not impossible to play with, it's just kind of annoying. It also helps that these monsters are super weak, so that I don't have to focus, so that I don't have to proc my full leader skill in order to kill these guys. So long as I match enough attribute colors, I should be fine. And there's also a generous amount of skill falls that are coming in here. Ooh, I overswiped there for a little bit. Not that it matters apparently, wow. Yeah, Puzzle and Dragons goes through cycles of power creep, where the damage numbers that you need and damage numbers that you need to tank grow significantly with every new dungeon that comes out. And this dungeon, Kepri Descended is basically like 2 or 3 years old at this point. So yeah, pretty much every meta team that you can run right now is going to be extremely overkill for dungeons in this series. But it is it's nice to be able to revisit the dungeons that you wouldn't normally run that you wouldn't normally run. It's easy to forget what kind of content is in this game because in-game players just tend to focus on farming like a handful of dungeons. I guess it's a similar story in MMOs as well. You kind of forget what the new player experience is like, and it takes events like this to kind of revisit them. So in this case, I have to stall a couple more turns. Because I don't have an active that avoids damage absorb. But the 3 turns ran out. So I'll do an Awoken Pine Clear. So the next time that I host a Puzzle Dragon stream, I'll be sure to make it a lot more structured compared to what it is today. And there's also another thing that I want to do, which is basically start a new account and basically introduce the game to a lot more people. This game is fun. It's not really at a risk of dying in North America at this point, but it's always good to have more people playing the games that you like. Meon Descended. This dungeon did not have any special mechanics, to my knowledge. So this kind of stream might be kind of jarring for newer players because they might not know what's going on, and I apologize for that. So the next time I have a stream, I'll focus on a new player experience and see how it is, and maybe guide people through what they can do at the start, what kind of resources to save, what's safe to use, stuff like that. Because when I started this game was actually insanely addicting. It still is, it's just that I don't have as much time to... Well, it's not even that I don't have much time to play it anymore, it's just... I'm too far into the game to appreciate the small things, I guess? Because when you're pretty much just stuck at endgame, you basically end up using the same team over and over again. Granted, I could just use older teams with like crazier leader skills and stuff like that just to challenge myself. In fact, I'll probably do that at a later stream anyways. But yeah, if you want to make content for yourself, you might have to just make your own worse playstyles, because the game just doesn't have enough content for endgame players, in my opinion, in terms of repeatably grindy things. Because the newest dungeon that came out, it is grindable, but you need a really whatchamacallit? I don't want to scare off new players thinking that you need to be an extreme whale to beat dungeons like that, but it certainly helps to have a massively beefy box for endgame dungeons in its current state. And we're also gradually getting to the point where all the essentials are available to grind at pretty much any time. So that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's kind of a bad thing because it kind of disrupts the already existing player-to-player trading market. Actually, that might not even be seen as a bad thing. That could be a good thing. But they just have to introduce something else to basically grind for. They have to give us a new long-term objective for us to work towards, which there is not currently. So people are just stocking up on existing materials, and yeah, the grind is getting kind of dull. Though with every new anniversary, they do announce a whole bunch of new changes and stuff like that. And Japan is currently going through their newest anniversary. I forgot to do a leader. So I'm very excited to see what kind of news pops up. There was one anniversary stream, where they did a huge info dump. And for players that currently play Pad, I would highly encourage checking it out. Content-wise, gameplay stuff comes from Japan. There's approximately like a 2 to 3 month delay. But the anniversary rewards and stuff like that come on... For us, it comes in November. I messed up there just a little bit. So yeah, about anniversary stuff. So for newer players, a lot of the anniversary content is basically just the most relevant bits are gonna be the free stuff that we get. We're gonna get their anniversary stuff in our anniversary, but the gameplay mechanics and stuff like that will come approximately 2 to 3 months in the future. So that's one of the benefits of being playing on the North American servers, is being able to know exactly what you're in for. Not all the collabs that Japan has makes it over into the North American server, but it's a pretty good way to plan your premium currencies and resources to make sure that you can go for the ones that you want. North America doesn't really have their own unique collabs. There was one in the past, but there hasn't been any like that since. And it's a shame because there's a lot of collabs with important units that never make it over into North America. So that's also one of the things why, as newer players, you might want to look up tier lists and stuff like that. But if you don't understand the full context of why the tier list exists, then it can be misleading for newer players when they start out new accounts. Because some leaders only work, they only get their extremely high ratings because of certain key units in the team. And if those units aren't in the North American server, then the tier list might as well be entirely misleading. Because things like that have happened before. It's not as severe nowadays, but it has certainly happened before. Because right now, in North America, wood attribute teams aren't that strong. But in Japan, they're one of the top tier attributes to plan your boxes around. And the reason why collab cards are so important is because they're often the times collab units are generally the ones to introduce power creep in new patches. And while normal units in the permanent egg machines do eventually get to that level of power creep, it could be a few months of wait. So if you don't want to waste your resources twiddling your thumb because of a unit that isn't going to make it over into the server, your resources probably aren't completely wasted, it's just that you're kind of forced to wait for a very long time. I'm getting so lazy with these dungeons that I keep forgetting to proc my friend's transformation skill. So these dungeons are trivial. The harder, well, slightly harder dungeons come in after I knock out all these challenges. because there is a limited time invade for an evolution material monster that I really need to stock up on, which is on the 4th list of today's agenda, which is Kylan Dragon and Scheherazade? I need, wait. Pronunciation.
Scheherazade.
Scheherazade, okay, Scheherazade. So after I knock out these challengers, I'll be grinding a lot of Scheherazade Dragon and Kylan Dragon gems. Though granted, the dungeons that I need to farm for those are somewhat lengthy in dungeon and the number of floors they have, because they have like 20 to 20, like 3 or 4 floors. Yeah, those dungeons probably like take approximately like 20 minutes per run. So, and it's also not a guaranteed invade either, which is actually extremely annoying, but it's one of the things that we have to deal with. I mean, it is a gacha game, so I'm not really foreign to the idea that a lot of the game's contents might be gated behind RNG, but oh well. For this one, yeah, I'll just get rid of the time extend debuff. So this makes it easier for me to match orbs. Gives me more time to move my orbs around. I remember when this dungeon first came out, it was an extreme nightmare to build around. Because this dungeon actually throws a bunch of different mechanics at you, and if you don't have, if you're not prepared for it, then it might get you off guard. But we're at a point in the game where most of the meta teams basically just resist or have ways to deal with every major mechanic in the game. So a lot of it is extremely trivialized. Maybe I should do this. Okay. This game might not look that interesting, but the core gameplay mechanics of actual orb matching and movement is actually very fluid and very therapeutic, I guess. It's really easy to just lose yourself just playing this game. And especially if you have like a brain dead pair of leaders that basically just work by solving the board, like this pairing. Yeah, it's easy to just turn your brain off and just keep matching floor by floor. It's very relaxing if you have a ton of movement time too. And this game also has, because it's been out for so long, there's also a ton of collectibles in this game that you can amass. So for this one, my goal is to get rid of this as soon as possible. I believe that should do it. Yeah, that was way overkill actually. And now I pop another buff and I just go for the one shot. I'm kind of playing with an awkward position because my mic arm is getting in the way and the cable length is kind of restrictive too. So I kind of end up bumping my arm into my mic a lot. I'm sorry if that noise bothers you. I'll try to work around it. So that's another challenge knocked out. It's a super reincarnated 5 elements challenge. And now there's a super reincarnated 5 elements series leader challenge, which requires me to complete various dungeons with specific leaders. And I just need to find a list of what they are. So I basically have to complete the technical dungeons with any of the monsters below as the leader. Helper monsters do not qualify for bonus rewards. So in that case, I feel like I could just copy this team over. Oh, not that option. Oops. Copy the team over. Sakuya. Should be pretty much the same thing. Clear Ultimate Arena 1, no continues, Bipolar Goddess 1. For this one, I need more Kenshin. Blade? No. Nope. I forgot what its name was. Quiet Dragon. Famed Spear. Okay. So Ultimate Arena 1, no, it continues. Bipolar Goddess 1, Machine Hero Descended, Ultimate Descended Rush, Paradise of the Holy Beast. Ultimate Arena 1 is probably the more annoying of them all, so I'll just tackle this one first. So this is one of the lengthy dungeons in this game. These ultimate arenas are basically sets of dungeons where you basically have to go through like a gauntlet of monsters, where there's basically 20, slightly more than 20 number of floors, gradually ramping up in difficulty near the end. Time debuff can be annoying, but status update. But it only reduces time by 2 seconds when I already have a ton of movement time to begin with, so it doesn't really affect me in any way anymore. But back in the older days when this dungeon first came out, most teams did not have the luxury of having this much movement time. And so at that time, it was a lot more important to have monsters that could clear this debuff by overriding it with your own buff. And nowadays, movement time is plenty. Every monster has a ton of it. every meta team at least has a ton of it. I feel like I probably could have picked an easier leader to just bum rush my way through it. But stamina is a valuable resource, so I won't leave. If I were to fail this dungeon somehow, then I would. I'll consider using a different team for it. This dungeon does not need to take that long. Because I'm pretty sure when I try to speedrun this dungeon, I've cleared it in like just over 4 minutes or something. So this dungeon isn't really hard, it's just long and tedious. A relic of the past. It used to be the dungeon to grind to scale up your monsters, but nowadays there's better alternatives to do it with harder dungeons that bring in more mechanics as well. I feel like I should stop listening to this song. My brain is actually turning off. And it's not because I'm solving this pretty much the same board over and over again. The way that this song is looping is actually kind of driving me crazy. Oops. I should probably look for background music that doesn't have high-pitched bells and stuff like that in it. Yeah, I'll do a more thorough search of more appropriate background music to use after this stream. That was a really janky amount of Skyfalls. I wasn't expecting to get like 3 TPAs in a row from just Skyfalls. That's really rare. It's not even useful either, just rare. Man, I'm kind of disappointed. I thought these dungeons would pose more of a challenge. Like not this dungeon specifically, because I knew what I was getting myself into for this one. But the other limited dungeons that the challenges that I haven't run before, I thought they would be a little bit harder. I thought I'd fail a couple of times, but apparently these ones weren't that kind of dungeon. Because Puzzle and Dragons, in the past they have introduced fairly difficult dungeons with fixed teams, so that you couldn't really build around them. You were just stuck with what you were given. Those dungeons were fun. They were actually challenging. But it's been a while since we've had anything like that. The most we see for those kind of dungeons is in fixed team ranking dungeons. Oh, this is useless. Fixed team ranking dungeons where we basically compete for score against other players to basically go for things called crowns, which you can collect and show off on your profile. and other various miscellaneous rewards as well. Ranking dungeons are probably the reason why I play this game a lot, but yeah, as an endgame player, that's pretty much one of the main reasons, main motivations for me to keep my box updated instead of just sticking with one team forever, pretty much. It's important to have collectibles from every collab and event that comes up, just in case, because some of the most optimal ranking dungeon teams end up using those monsters, as useless as they may seem for normal grinding. So the fact that this game actively incentivizes players to basically stock up and hoard things, it aligns very well with how I play games. Yeah, this game is gonna be like a hoarder's paradise. Granted, your monster unit storage is not infinite, so you may have to do some box expansions. But for 5 spaces, it costs 1 unit of premium currency, which all things considered is honestly not that bad of a price because of how often this game gives gives them out. And we also have the option to watch ads for 1 free box space twice a day. And new players, as long as they consistently do it, they shouldn't run into box space troubles anytime soon. Or if you don't like watching ads, you can just buy stones with money. A pack is roughly $50, I think, and it gives you 85 stones or something like that. One roll in the egg machine is pretty much it varies, but oftentimes the good machines are typically 10 stones per roll. The number changes based on what kind of collab is active though, because some collabs end up costing 6 stones per roll or 7. But a lot of times the godfests that carry permanent units, units in the permanent pool that pretty much constantly get updated, those ones usually cost 10 stones per roll. So even if you were to take that into account, and if you were just straight up buying box space over and over again, it's kind of like paying a 10% tax on every gacha roll to basically have infinite space to keep them, which I think is honestly not that bad of a trade-off. Newer players might be thinking that it's kind of a waste of space to hold so many duplicates of a certain type of monster, but in actuality, monsters in the permanent pool are constantly getting buffed every year. So it's along with new evolutions and stuff like that, so it's almost never worth it to straight up just sell off dupes that you may have, or to trade off all the dupes that you don't need. Because many of the core cards that I have and use, over the years I've collected, like, for some units I have like over 10 copies of them, and I have them split up into different evolution trees for varying use cases and scenarios. So this dungeon was very straightforward, and this clear should give me 5 magic stones in the mail. And there's Machine Hera. If I got the reward for this one, then I'll know. Okay, yeah, I did get the reward. Okay. So Machine Hera descended. Machine Hera has an attribute absorb for light and dark attributes. I should probably bring an attribute absorb voider. This one's kinda long. Yep, I'll bring one. Okay, so get rid of this. And this one should be plenty. For players that want to spend like less than $20 a month playing this game, but not completely IAP, there is a thing called Pad Pass, which also gives you a free stone every day. I forgot to activate my leader skill again. It's the best bang for your buck in terms of stones, magic stones. I should probably activate it now. And every time that a collab comes up, we usually get bundles that give you a free, it's not really free, that give you one roll for $1, including a stone. So technically it's bundled together, like you're paying $1 for the stone and then you get a free roll to go on top of it. And because collabs typically rotate every like 2 weeks-ish, Pad Pass costs like $12. I think it's $10 actually. It might be like $12 because I'm playing from Canada. 1 second. Oh, I was saying, oh yeah, Pad Pass. So, yeah, if you're the kind of person to spend like $20 in a game. Oh, I should have planned around this. Whoops. I don't know if I die at the end of 10 turns though. I'm pretty sure I can just stall it. Or maybe I don't even need to stall it. Oh, I messed up. That's gonna heal it. Yeah, I just need to stall it. I'm gonna die otherwise. Ain't no thing. So that's about what I would consider light IAP. Pad Pass plus the dollar bundles that typically come up. And you pretty much double the amount of stones that you can get compared to a typical non-IAP player. So if you like the game and you want to support it, I think that's probably the best option to go for it. But Pad Pass is completely optional too. It doesn't have gameplay features that are kind of mandatory for use. So it is a truly optional subscription. So even if you weren't subscribed to it, there's still a ton of things you can do. And so long as you manage your resources properly and just don't get baited by the gacha and just roll away all your stones every time, you should be able to save a good amount for the things that you want as well. It might be harder doing the same in Japan because you can't really tell what's gonna happen. You don't know what events are gonna come and stuff like that. But Japan is also a lot more generous with the amount of free stuff that players get. So it kind of counteracts one another. So you kind of end up preparing for something that you don't know is going to happen. Like there could be a new collab with like a bunch of new meta-defining units and stuff like that. Or it could be a collab with just small minor upgrades. Because not every collab is extremely powerful. Especially reruns and stuff like that, they typically don't tend to introduce too many groundbreaking buffs and stuff like that. But new collabs generally tend to have units that are very strong and flexible to work with many teams. So if you just save your stones for all the new content that's coming, you should still have a pretty good time in Japan. I mean, the game is way more popular in Japan than it is in North America as well, so yeah, people wouldn't play this game if it was bad. Especially not a mobile game, considering that this market is so heavily contested nowadays. It's impossible to survive unless you make an actually good game. As much flack as you could give to games like Candy Crush and stuff like that, you gotta admit that those games are highly addicting as well. And just because you may not be the primary demographic for those kinds of games, doesn't mean that they're bad games. They're just not for you. Actually, I might consider making an account in Japan, actually. I have made accounts for Japanese Puzzle and Dragons before. I've never really committed to one though, but I think that might be an interesting experience. To see how far I can get with maybe a couple of restrictions on my playstyle or something like that. Because for the new player experience video, I kind of want to... Well, series, I want to base it around off the North American server because that's primarily where most of my viewers will be. And most players that watch my videos will probably not want to be gated by a language barrier right off the bat, so... But yeah, I think that might be an interesting video that I could make. Because once you familiarize yourself with all the options and dialogues in this game, it's very straightforward. Because most of the games is explained through visuals anyways. Like attributes, awakening skills, you can tell exactly what they do from a glance if you played this game before. And enemy status effects and stuff like that are also fairly explained with just numbers and symbols. So the language barrier isn't as serious as it may be in some other games with like text-heavy battle dialogues and stuff like that. But in this game, it's fairly straightforward. Very accessible if you play on the North American server for a little while. You may not know what dungeon you're getting yourself into, but if you train yourself to memorize like certain key kanji, then you could probably just work your way around that too. Because many of the dungeons are actually explained. Many of the dungeons are labeled with the boss on the front during the dungeon select menu. And for those ones, you can look over onto the North American app and see what dungeon it is as well. Like all of these dungeons have pictures to describe what the boss is. And the order of the dungeons that show up here is also the same as the North American client. So you can also do just cross comparisons. Ultimate Descended Rush. Descended Rush. Gathering of Talents. The first one. Oh yeah, I should probably edit this. So 5 elements challenge. This was complete. So these set of dungeons should be pretty straightforward as well, but there's only 3 more dungeons and these aren't that long. So I'll knock them out quickly and then I'll get onto the main grindy part of today's stream, which is going to be grinding Kylan Dragon gems and Shazarade gems. Scheherazade.
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 Scheherazade. Okay, Scheherazade. Maybe I should be using the no Skyfall badge to make these dungeons go faster. I forgot that Sakuya doesn't have a follow-up attack built into the leader skill. This monster is infamous for ending a ton of runs for leader skills that don't have shields built into them, which used to be common, but modern leaders all have shields built into them. Because what it does is he hits for a percentage of your health, and then he does another hit on top of that to basically just, no matter how much health you had, if you didn't have a shield, you would basically just get instantly killed if you drop him below a certain amount of health without a follow-up attack. But alas, power creep made him into nothing but a croc. Like, the power creep is so severe that in these units that like even for this team, I didn't really bother to plan around it. This one maybe I should have planned around it. This is fine. No, it's not fine. I have to stall a lot. I was not expecting Hanuman. This guy does 99 chances of damage absorb, and I can't really damage control myself to go under that limit. Okay, change of strategy. Instead of this, I'll use Fujin. Fujin should have no problem when it comes to that. Okay. But Ultimate Descender Rush is the dungeon that I'm currently running. It's not fixed spawns. Yeah, it's not fixed spawns. So we haven't encountered this ancient Draggy Knight in our previous run. So the dungeon draws from like a huge pool of different boss monsters, and it just makes a boss rush pretty much. So there's a chance that we might not run into Hanuman again, or there is a chance to run into it again. I'm just preparing for it. Just now I made the mistake, well, I didn't really make a mistake on the spot right there, but the fact that I didn't transfer my leader at the start of the round made it so that I ended up wasting a turn, stalling. When it comes to endgame player grinding, a lot of it boils down to trying to minimize the amount of time you spend in every dungeon. And funnily enough, what happens is, typically that means that you end up reducing the amount of comboing that you actually need to do, because comboing takes time. So you end up seeing buttons for teams that basically just use only active skills to clear dungeons and stuff like that. So endgame grinding can be very interesting. It's a whole nother playing field of team building, where the goal is to basically do the least amount of puzzling possible. It sounds counterintuitive, but it is what it is. So there's always other annoying monsters like this. I'll just stall out one turn. And then clear my Awoken Bind. And just defeat her normally. So Ultimate Descended Rush is actually one of the more annoying dungeons to try to prepare around. The first floor that we're tackling is actually fairly easy. It's just that in the 3-player version, where you queue up with other players to tackle, those dungeons can get fairly hairy if you don't have the right team for it. Or if your teammates don't have the right units to deal with certain problems. Like, the game tries to cripple endgame players by forcing them to use like an older lead. But because all of our other units and our subs are so powerful, that this really doesn't phase us. So a really decent leader skill is one thing to have, but that's why tier lists are very misleading when it comes to this game. You could have a top tier lead, but if you don't have the subs for it, then subs or equips, then you're gonna have a bad time. Choreo of the Celestial Pole. Should be Legendary Hills. No, not that one. Paradise of the Holy Beasts. This is my last fast guy, I think. I will hold off on that one. I don't have any of the same leaders either. Horizon? I'm actually losing brain cells listening to this song. Like, no offense to the artist, but I don't think I'm using this song in the way that it's meant to be used. Maybe I am, but I don't know. I feel like a mix of wanting to fall asleep and just and just dropping everything and just not doing anything. My brain is actually turning into mush. Man, if I started streaming last week, then I probably could have shown off a bunch of ranking dungeon gameplay as well. But preparing for a debut as a VTuber was breaking the fourth wall as a maybe. It was very, very time consuming. Very time consuming. I don't regret it though. The setup I have now is it should be plentiful for whatever may happen. My PC is definitely beefy enough to run pretty much any game at this point. Though I still do want to upgrade my graphics card somewhere down the line. And by somewhere down the line, I mean probably like in April maybe? Hopefully in April. Should graphics card shortages be solved by then? Which I highly doubt is going to happen, but a man can wish. Okay. I fobbed that up really hard. Whoops. One of the rare times where I'm actually glad that nobody's watching. I can't believe I messed up on the final floor last round. That should have been the easiest dungeon that I've ran today. Well, it should have been. Like, even though I messed up my leader skill completely, I still managed to take him down to like 5% HP, which is kind of crazy. That would never happen in any of the more modern dungeons that came out. Okay, was that the last one? Rainbow Stone Magic Dragon. I have no idea which one that is. Rainbow Stone Magic Dragon. I feel like it should be slightly higher up. Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. I swear it was somewhere around here. Mythic Stone Dragon Cave. Mystic Stone Dragon Cave. Is it a special dungeon? Mystic Stone Dragon Cave, Mystic Stone Dragon Cave, Mystic Stone Dragon Cave. Oh, here it is. Rainbow Stone Magic Dragon. Might as well give some friend points. Pal points. I forgot how much of a chore running old teams was. Running old dungeons with modern teams was. Because right now there are teams with monsters that deal enough follow-up damage to basically just one-shot these monsters anyways. Because of the sheer difference in damage scaling that's been happening recently. Where bosses used to have a couple million HP, but now but nowadays monsters with follow-up attacks built into their leader skills can deal like 3 million or more damage by just proccing a very simple seal. And it's fixed damage that goes beyond, that bypasses damage absorb shields and stuff like that as well. So older dungeons got completely trivialized by these speed farming leaders. One thing that I'm a little bit sad is that there's actually zero incentive to farm old dungeons like this because maybe I shouldn't feel too sad, considering that these dungeons are kind of boring, but I wish that there were more incentives, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just grasping for straws because I just want more endgame content. Like, I might complain as a player right now because I have so many hours logged in here, but as a new player, there's a very good chance that they might not run out of stuff to do for years. Okay, maybe years might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it'll definitely last months. And I think that's it for the challenges. Yeah, that's it for the challenges. Okay. I only have 100 stamina left. And I think if I do one run of Altarina 3 for a Shazarada Dragon with my last Vasca, where's the team? It's this one. I forgot what equip I had on Isis. Was it a bind clear, a delay, a resist? I don't think it was a resist. I have Cloud. Bind immune. Blind jammer poison. What did I have on her? I mean, I could just bring another blind. No, not blind. Awoken bind resist. Maybe I'll do that. And a delay. Yomi Kakumi seal. Okay. Should be fine. Yomi Gakushi seal. And then I think at the end of this run, I'll just call off the stream because it's gonna be nearing 2 hours long. I think this is a fine pairing. Yep. Hopefully I get an invade. Blocking the leader skill because it's actually starting to get pretty important to have its skill up. This dungeon is not as forgiving as the ones that I've been running until now. Though it is still an old dungeon. Relatively speaking. I shouldn't have trouble on any floor other than the one with the invade if it were to happen to invade. But even then, unless I get completely messed up with RNG, I think I should be fine. I should be fine. I hope I didn't jinx myself, but I should be fine. I've also noticed that my subscriber feed doesn't seem to be working properly. It seems to be actually very outdated. I might have to do some investigation into this. Or maybe it's just because some of my viewers just don't have public subscription shown. That's probably the more likely reason, actually. Now that it's dark attribute, this should be easy to take care of. This should do it. Nope, it did the complete opposite. Okay. Maybe I'll pop this a little bit early. Now it should be way more than enough to kill him. Yeah, fast gets gonna hit like a truck. Okay, there we go. This is normally the floor that would pop Kana, so that her skill can be up by the time that I reach the final boss stages. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem if I popped her one turn early. And that's part of the reason why I bring 2 Kanas to this floor, to this dungeon nowadays. Because this dungeon's damage boils down to most of it coming from one unit, which is this Raijin. So I want to make sure that it's always ready to hit as hard as it's needed. no matter the circumstance. Everything is looking pretty good so far, making pretty good pace. This conversion it can be annoying, but actually this is probably the most annoying pairing. No, it's not. Dark Canna getting swapped is probably the more annoying pair, but because our team hurts so much anyways, it doesn't really matter. At least not for the quote-unquote trash floors like this. And because the swap only lasts for 2 turns, it is a-okay. I will have my regular team back for the actual boss battles soon to come. So this healing reduction can be annoying, but Kana's skill overrides that healing reduction. And it should be up by the time that I need to do any major stalling, which may happen on the boss floor, but I think it's fine. These roulettes are rather annoying though. Ooh, I didn't match enough attributes for that. It's okay because everything gets resisted anyways. So just like that, I can just use the roulette orb to my advantage. Oops. To get the color that I need. It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a leader skill that brings a ton of... Oops. Time extends at times. It's not just for player skill issues. There are times where it's just generally more helpful to have a ton of movement time so you can work around roulette orbs. So this guy is kind of annoying. I believe I have enough orbs to just one-shot him though. Because a TPA and a Kana boost should be sufficient. I believe this is more than enough to one-shot. Oh no, I'm wrong. This leader swap is a lot more annoying to deal with, but I still have to kill it in this turn. I believe this should still be enough. Okay. Now I can just stall out the 4 extra turns that I need. which is actually very conveniently easy on this floor. Because I just have to do nothing. Oh, gun skills are bound, that's fine. That's not fine. I messed up. Though it is still only for 5 turns, I think it should still be fine. Yeah, that shouldn't be the end. She hurts quite a bit, but this is nothing that's impossible to stall. That could be bad. That could be very bad. I actually don't know what her skill sets do at this point. Because most of the times where I end up here, it's the fight ends before it gets much further. I'm still stalling decently well though. That's annoying. And this is the last turn I need to stall, I think. Okay, now I can actually do a bind clear. Oh, true. I had a damage absorb piercer on Ishi's before. Well, now that makes sense. Well, we overcame that hurdle. As janky as that one was. So this should be fine. My only concern is Kana's cooldown being on too low. I ended up stalling way too much on this floor. So I'll take the opportunity to stall a little bit on this floor actually. Clear the Awoken Bind and just stall it out a little bit. So on this floor, I just want to try to get Kana's skill down to maybe like 7 turns, 9 turns. I don't have to stall here for too much longer. Oh, this may just end up killing him though, but I have to do this or else I won't be able to heal enough. This is still fine. There's other opportunities to stall anyways. This, for example, is actually one of them. Just getting an extra turn of stalling here and there from a bunch of different places is more than enough for what I need to do. So I don't need to stall on one floor for like 10 turns. It's very difficult to do that, in fact. So it's important to know when you can stall and when you can't. You know, because even though like these monsters may show up in different dungeons, their mechanics generally tend to stay the same, even though their numbers may differ. So as you accumulate game experience, you will find out that just by knowing what monster is on the screen, you'll know what to do. At least in most cases, it's like that. There are some cases where a monster may have a different skill set for a special dungeon, but those dungeons are usually rare and far in between, or they usually have like a marker to indicate that this is different. Like it may be different for a special challenge or some sort. So there's the attribute absorb. Wait, does this not have attribute absorb? No, this isn't mechanical Hera. This is Hera Nyx. So she's very easy to deal with. And this should do it. And now we start to get to the phase where the actual bosses begin to appear. Floor 20 is where the boss should appear. If we get an invade or not. I'll have to see. Okay, one roulette. That's not too bad. Okay, this is very manageable. Grab another light orb. And use that roulette to create another water combo. And that should be a very clean one shot. Yep. Dead game. The game's actually rising in popularity. I was honestly really not expecting that, but it is. Because I like the way that I thought this game would go is because of the difference in collabs and stuff like that. I thought that this game would be dying out in North America and growing in Japan, but it's actually just growing in all fronts. It's actually kind of crazy how much growth it's experiencing. I think after they started giving away a lot more free stones, like having events where they give out like 100 free stones and stuff like that. Yeah, they started attracting a lot more players. Gacha in 2021 weird. What? There are no non-gacha games in 2021. What are you talking about? The sad state gaming is in right now. I feel like I should try Valheim. Noida, WoW, and Rust? Yeah. You gotta give it to the indie devs for keeping the scene alive, breathing hope into gamers. That not everything has to be about gacha. Valheim is fun. Yeah, I want to give it a try one day. What did I just do? I feel like I flubbed. Is Valheim fun single player too? Noida is good. It's crazy how much content and replayability it has. Before I get into other roguelites, I do want to try out Hades first. I don't know, I didn't play it solo. Okay, well, fair enough. I'll give it a try later. Hades is also amazing. Yeah, I've heard. I've watched some other VTubers play it, and it definitely looks like my kind of game. I had a lot of fun playing Bastion. So I'll eat up any... Oh my god, I forgot that they have damage absorb. Attribute absorb for 2 turns. It should be fine. I don't have enough light orbs. I feel like I may have just lost the run. I don't know if I can stall till the end of this attribute absorb, right? You need some higher energy music. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna be looking for different music because yeah, I originally wanted to use this music for this standard talking streams, but the more I listen to it, I feel like my brain is kind of melting. Just play Monster Cat, royalty free and good. The thing about Monster Cat is I don't know if I have the energy to keep up with Monster Cat songs. To be frank. Electronic music and all that. BDO Mobile is better. Do I really want to get into BDO Mobile? MMORPGs scare me. Having to do daily commitments. Listen to Monster Cat Instinct? Yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll make a note of that right now, actually. Monster Cat Instinct. So it turns out I actually could stall to the end of that. Okay. What am I doing here? I did it again. How am I not dead yet? Let me know if you want to play some Apex later. Yeah, sure, will do. I just want to get this run over with. That should be it, and I also got the
Scheherazade
Dragon Invade. So this has been a pretty good run. If I can get a double Rainbow P. If I can get one of those, then that would be the cherry on top. Perfect. Okay. So with that, I just realized my chat box wasn't even working properly. Why is this not working? There we go. I put it on the wrong layer. That was hell of a scuffed stream. Okay, well that's okay. I'll improve it for the next time. Thank you for dropping by. Bye-bye.